It's really good, homie. You already know what the business is. Late, but always on time. Let me get this camera together. What's really good, family? The weekly tap in. Today is May 17th. Your boy live from the city of Los Angeles. It's the weekly tap in. Tapping in. It's good, yo. Man, a lot to talk about today, man. Oh, I got a book for us. But first of all, what we got to do first, we got to wait for a few more people to get in here because we know we're a little bit late. We're a little bit off time. But that's just a little bit, man. But we make up on it on our content. So what we're going to do first, real quick, share with our audience, grab our phones. You know what I'm saying? Make this easy as possible. Go ahead, hit the share button. Share with our audience. Grab our phones. It's that easy, man. All you got to do is just hit a share. You know, one of the things I wanted to stress was how hard it is for people to do some of the most basic things to support, right? You ain't got to spend money with nobody. You know what I'm saying? But one thing you can do is hit a like, hit a share. What's it cost you? You know what I'm saying? Like Kendrick Lamar, what's $1 cost? What's it cost you to actually share something, right? We always share things about tragic situations, about people passing, or we always share situations about celebrities, people that don't know us from Adam. But there's somebody in your family, somebody in your circle who needs a push, who needs a share, who needs a like, and you won't give it to them, dog. You act like it's something out of your pocket to give somebody a like, to give somebody a word of encouragement. They always say, man, what's going on inside of us is going to come out. So if that's not coming out, if goodness isn't coming out of you, man, we got to recognize our input and we got to focus on our input and get our input together. Because if we at a point to where we can't even give away a free doesn't cost you a dime to support or like somebody or share something. You got cats who won't even do that, won't even give you that little bit of support. And you imagine how hard it is. That's why you can't rely on human beings, man. You got to rely on other sources. The minute we start relying on man, disappointment sets in, right? So we got to rely on other things, other resources, universe who can provide way more than man can provide, giving man all of his ideas, right? So we got to rely on other sources. We got to, because, and I'm reading a book right now. Oh, but before we get to that, man, shout out your cities, dog. Make sure you put your, man, it's the tap in, homie. It's tap in. What up, fam? AZ in the building. I see you, homie. Keep up the excellent work, family. Please do, man. Please do. You doing fantastic work. Keep documenting, man, pictures of everything. There's a company called Pulsar Construction out here they was a husband and wife deal. Now they were doing like add-ons and stuff, like crazy stuff. Look them out, Pulsar Construction, anyways. But yeah, you got to continue to do stuff like that, fam. You got to sit out there and get outside your box and test yourself, right? Put yourself in situations where you're not comfortable. One of the worst things we can do is get comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Because then we stop moving. We stop, and I told you guys about that Indian tribe. All right, homeboy. What's happening, man? What's up, Illinois? I see you, homie. I appreciate you tapping in, man. Shot-town. Oh, you in Peoria. My bad. My apologies, homie. Everybody always quick to go Shot-town, but there's some hitters in all over Illinois. I have folks out there, homeboy. So I know what time it is with you cats, man. Salute. AZ too, man. And ain't nothing but real cats all across this nation, homie. Do not get it twisted. Solid cats, man. That's the beauty of our nation, man. We got one thing we have in common is we were all hustlers, and wherever we were hustling at, right? We was influenced by the music, all that good stuff. I'm reading a book called The Power of the Subconscious Mind. I told you guys about that. And in that book, it talks about a few different things about what we interact on the subconscious mind, right? And how people are talking to us and delivering messages subconsciously, right? The way they interact with us, the way they talk about us, the way they respond to our projects, to our goals and dreams. And I was just saying that people won't even hit the like button. And we know we're doing some fantastic shit. We know we out here breaking molds and changing the game, and we can't even get acknowledged or recognized for it, which happens a lot, right? Because I think what happens is people see themselves as not being able to do what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And then jealousy and envy starts to set in, right? Or the fact that they may have taken an L at that time, because everything is timely, right? We talked about that, and it talks about that in the four agreements, right? It talks about somebody giving you a compliment, right? And you could have the same outfit on, so they see you one day, they hit the lottery, they come, man, that's dope, man. It could be a bucket, man. Man, that car is amazing, man. That car fits you, and then you pull up the next day after they lose money. It's raggedy ass. When you pull up in this, you know what I'm saying? So it all depends. It's subjective, and it depends on how that individual's feeling. It doesn't have anything to do with you. That's why it's so important not to take what people say personal, whether it's positive or negative. Don't let it get in your head. A lot of people gas you up in order to leave you vulnerable as well. So you got to watch that too. They'll tell you what you want to hear, so you'll let your guard down so they can infiltrate. So don't get gassed up too much by what people say from a positive standpoint. Don't get down too much by people say from a negative standpoint. Stay right in between. There's also another book that I'm reading. Let me show you guys. This, hey homie, when I tell you this is gas, let me see. I'm pulling it up right now, so just in case you guys think I'm ditching y'all, that's not the case. I'm just trying to show you guys a little something. I don't know if I could show it on here. Let me try to. Just be patient with me. It's a really good book. And it's about, let's see, no thanks. Let me show you guys. It's about what we say to ourselves. So it's the self-talks. It's this one. Let me show you guys. Let me share a little something with y'all, homeboy. I'm starting off my book stuff early. So if you tapping in, you're getting it early, homie. So let me show you guys, showing stream. Just a little something about it, homie. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, family. I'm gonna tap in. Let me go to the front of the book so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So this is the book. What to say when you talk to yourself. So it talks about our self-talk in here. And it talks about one of the things that is stressed in here and that it talked about was that by the time we're 18, we've heard 148,000 no's. 148,000. So we're already programmed to think from a negative standpoint. So this is talking about all mental stuff. So right now I'm on a kick because I've realized that the brain is probably the most powerful thing that we have going for us, right? It can think us into poverty and it can think us into riches if we control it right. It's that navigational thing that we got going where as long as we point it in the right direction, it does what we tell it to do. But the key is understanding how to reprogram ourselves to get out of that negative, because most of the things that we don't do in life, we talk ourselves out of it. It's not that somebody denying us. It's the conversation that we're having with ourselves. Homie, I can't do this. Homie, I stink at this. Homie, I was never athletic. Homie, whoop, whoop, whoop. All these things are negative reinforcement that are telling your body that, yeah, you are clumsy. That, yeah, you can't do that. Yeah, you've always fucked something up. These are things that we've bought into that we probably heard as a child or as we were growing up. We didn't get the positive reinforcement that we needed. Nobody really did, because nobody kind of knew what was going on at that time. We weren't reading books like this. You feel what I'm saying? But you got to check yourself and figure out how I have the best conversation with myself. I've been experimenting. I've been reading this book out loud in my house for the last 2 or 3 days, just so that I can practice it, listening to it as much as I'm reading it. When we read in silence, we're not necessarily, we're reading it, our brain's getting it, but we need our ears to hear the same thing as well. And it also helps with pronunciation and such, right? So now I'm reading this thing out loud, but it's giving up game. It's talking about how we talk ourselves out of so many different things, how we have these negative conversations with ourselves, how we develop these negative habits that start from negative talk, which ultimately result in negative behavior. Right. So we think about what the root of our problem is, why we're not moving in the same way we're moving. It's because of the conversations we're having ourselves. Do we believe we deserve that? Me and my wife just looked at a house in Westchester, claimed that shit. It's unbelievably expensive, but claimed it, dog, and believe it. I'm not only speaking, I'm speaking it. I believe it. I see it. We're about to go by there. We ain't got nowhere near the amount of money, but I'm claiming it. That's me. That's us. And you got to have that conversation, that confidence, right? 90% life is 90% mental. Mental. That's it. Let me show you guys a little something on this. You guys can see this. 90% mental. So you guys can see some of the things that he's talking about. So let me see, where am I at? I'm in chapter like I'll just go to like 10 because I think I was in 10. A new look at positive thinking. So this talks about that. Let me see. Let me go to the front so you guys can see some of the negative conversations that we've had with ourselves. It's a short book. It's a really easy read. Talks about the power of repetition. So here's a short. These are some positive things. Recognize what you believe in. Be honest, hard work, so forth and so on. Then it gives you the list also of the things that we heard. And I'll get to that too. Just showing you guys some stuff. So here's some of the negative self-talk, right? I can't remember names. It's going to be another one of those days. It's just no use, right? I know it won't work. I knew it wouldn't work, right? Nothing ever goes right for me. That's just my luck. I'm clumsy. I don't have a talent. I'm not creative. I only know how to do this, right? Everything I eat goes right to my waist. I used to say that shit. Every time I eat a cheeseburger, you can see it in my face. I'm reinforcing this shit. You feel me? I can't seem to get organized. Today just isn't my day. Any of this shit sound familiar to you guys? I can never afford the things I want. I already knew I wouldn't like it. No matter what I do, I can't seem to lose the weight. I never have enough time. I just don't have the patience for that. Another Blue Monday. When will I ever learn? I get sick just thinking about it. Sometimes I just hate myself. I'm just no good. I'm too shy. I never know what to say. Right? These are all derogatory things that we say to ourselves. These are, man, I can go down a list of these things of what I say. And I had to check myself. You don't even realize that you're saying this silently. Even if you ain't saying it out loud, you may be saying it silently, and your subconscious hears that shit and acts on it. The universe hears, all right, cool, dude, you suck. Cool, let's keep this popping. Things aren't just working out right for me. I don't have the energy I used to. I'm really out of shape. All these things. I'm a fat ass. We all say these derogatory things about ourselves when we're supposed to be treating ourselves like the most precious jewel we've ever encountered. Right? Why should I try? Nothing's gonna work anyway. That's one of the main ones. I'll tell you right here. That main one, though, why should I try to never work out anyways? That's quitting before you begin. Why should I try to talk to her? Man, she out of my league. Why should I try to go get that? Man, they ain't gonna give me the money. Man, they ain't gonna do this. Why should I try this? They ain't gonna give me this. Why should I try? You feel me? You should try because you get rich or die trying, period. Homie, they ain't get rich or die settling. What's up, AD? I see you, homie. You know what I'm saying? That's not what we doing. I'm trying. They won't let me share this thing. I don't know. Let me see. Show. Some reason they won't let me show your comment, but I see you, AD. I appreciate that. But listen to some of these things, homie. You feel me? We talk ourselves out of it, but it's not our fault. This is stuff that we've been preconditioned. Right? So don't blame yourself, dog. Never blame yourself like this is, man, I think, nah, this ain't your fault. And you can think your way out of it. You can think your way out of the same stuff. Nobody likes me. I never get a break. It seems like I'm always broke. Everything I touch turns to shit. We've had these conversations with ourselves, and they're horrible. Right? They're horrible. But I'll show you guys some of the better conversations that we need to have with ourselves in this space. Because it's all about our self-talk, man. Because half the time, right? Once we get out of, they talk about motivation in here. They talk about motivation and they talk about coaches and things like that. And one of the things they said to them is that motivation works. So for instance, you guys are listening to me, I'm motivating you, I'm getting you going. But what happens at 6:45 at 7 o'clock? Boom, I'm gone. Coach is gone. Now what are you relying on? You relying on whatever conversations you have internally and whoever's in your circle. So if that doesn't include motivation, then you got to go internalize it. And you got to start to motivate yourself. You can't rely on somebody else's motivation. You can't rely on another person's battery to constantly get you your life jumped every time. Because I got a dead battery. Let me rely on the homie. No. You got to go. You got to have some internal charging mechanism. You got to be able to create your own internal energy to charge your battery. And it starts with the conversations. What do you say about yourself? Man, I look good, homie. I'm feeling good, looking good. I feel like $1,000. And you will start to believe it, right? The universe doesn't care. Your mind doesn't care whether you're telling the truth or not. If you tell a lie enough and you believe in it long enough, that lie becomes a reality to you, right? And I ain't gonna say too much about religions, but a lot of them have no connection, no evidence, no nothing. And they believe it. Electricity, they believe it. Yeah, it's there because it'll shock the shit out of you, but you can't see it, right? But you know that power is there. And that's the power of belief. And that's why it's so important to check our belief system. What do you believe is a reality? Do you believe you can own a house? Do you believe you can own a house with a pool? Do you believe you can own a house and a Ferrari? Do you believe it? Because you could talk that shit, but what goes on inside? What goes on inside that head? Is it really happening? Do I really believe this shit? Do I really think I can do it? Or is my mind limited? Or am I limited, right? Am I only basing it on what my grandma had? My grandma had a Cadillac. So I can't see a Ferrari. Because I don't even, right. So you got to change that belief system because you might already have it programmed in your mind. I can't do nothing better than a Cadillac. I can't do nothing better than Cadillac because that was all I seen. This is why it's so important to expand your horizons and learn about different things. If that's something that floats your boat, right? But it's the belief system. That's it. That's it. Do I believe I can do this? Do I believe I can accomplish it? The mile has been broken. All these records have been set based on beliefs, right? Based on what that person believed. So you got to check your programming, right? What is my input? What am I seeing on a day-to-day basis? What kind of conversations am I having with my homeboys? Is it an elevated conversation? Or is it one of these conversations that's going in the gutter? Right? A lot of times, a lot of homies won't come around you because your conversation is elevated. And you got to put that kind of pressure on them. You know what I'm saying? To make your circle stronger. Somebody got to lift it up and make us go to the next ring in this life game. Right? Somebody's got to do it. And if you your homeboy's keeper, you're gonna be better every day and bring something to the table. Bring it back to them, homie. Right? And inspire people to want to do better. And it starts with you. But it starts with your mental programming, right? Your power of your subconscious mind. What do you believe? Right? What does your body say? What does your attitude say? How are you saying it with confidence, right? Are you talking it? Are you speaking it into existence? Are you $100,000 cat? You $1,000,000 cat? It's all about what you believe. Because if you believe you're $1,000,000 cat, you'll bypass that hundreds and keep passing them out. Because you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get to this. So I consider myself $1,000,000 cat. I just ain't got there yet. But I wear shirts that say converting street skills to millions. Not 100,000s, homie. Not thousands, millions. Have I got there yet? Nah. But I've rubbed elbows with some. You feel what I'm saying? I used to work for one. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm getting closer to them, right? And that's all do I believe it? I don't care what my current circumstances are. I don't care what the statistics say. I don't care what my homeboy says. I don't care what my family says. All that matters is, do I believe it? Do I believe it? Right? Because people have nightmares, anxieties, all these different things based on beliefs, whether they're reality or not. So that just shows you the power of the mind and what it can do from a bodily standpoint, but also from a physical standpoint and manifesting things in your life. All based on this right here. So you got to check it. You got to make sure that thing is a tip-top shape. It's the computer of all computers, but if you're feeding it the wrong input and you're putting the wrong computer programs, all it knows is to run those programs anyways. It doesn't know whether they're right or wrong. It doesn't know whether you got right thinking or wrong thinking. It does not know. So if you feed it bullshit based on what we learned, because we learned a bunch of bullshit when we were younger, man. The homies was telling us BS to homie, nah, bullshit stories. You feel what I'm saying? And we can change that now, right? Because we believed it and we rocked it until it sent us to the pen. We achieved we got the stereos, the D's, the Vogues, we got all that. But it sent us to the pen. They didn't give us the end to the story. So now, like Jay-Z said, wasn't nothing wrong with our aim. We had to change the target. Because our aim, we was go-getters. That had nothing to do with nothing. The go-getting, the initiative, the effort, the work ethic was never questionable. But whether we were aiming at the wrong target was the deal. We weren't lazy asses. They could miss me with that shit. That's a myth. We was on the block 24 hours a day. Our spot stayed open all night long. And this is when we was 14 and 15, when everybody was in, on the phone, they teenage love. We was getting it off. So they can't tell us nothing about work ethic, homie. You feel what I'm saying? But showed us the power of our thoughts because we accomplished everything that we wanted to accomplish, whether we were right or wrong, which shows you that we have the ability. Only thing they talk about is motivation, ability, and opportunity. That's a consumer behavior tool, but it's a thing that we can apply to life. Do I have the motivation to do it? Yes. Why? Because I don't want to be broke. Do I have the ability to do it? Absolutely. I got two hands, a mind. I know where the plug live. I know how to do math. Boom. Do I got the opportunity? And that's where it comes in, right? Do I take advantage of this? Do I take that step anyways, right? With us and the chicken, do we take that step? We started frying stuff. We're playing with the recipe now. Downstairs as we speak. Poking the box, trying shit out. Getting it in our subconscious mind that if I want that house, then we got to build this franchise. That's all right. I'm with that. I can do that. Let's get it. And have that positive mentality and mindset. Let's get it. And then all it takes is one step towards God. That's it, homie. You just got to take one step towards it, man. I believe in it. Jay Prince just got another island, homie. That's two. He was on another jet ski, did another video. And all he talks about is the power of prayer. And that's where it comes from, that mentality. God, let me get this. Close your eyes and visualize it happening. The Alchemist, you can read that book too. How we can create things. These are all mental things, right? My entire life right now was created mentally. I promise you guys. Everything, everybody involved was created mentally. And then it came to fruition. Yes, words have power, brother. Yes. You got to watch your mouth. One of the best books I've ever read on the power of the tongue, things like that, was the Four Agreements. You got to watch what you say. Don't make assumptions. Don't take anything personal. Always speak the impeccable word and always do your best. You feel what I'm saying? Period. But speaking the impeccable word, there's so much gravity to that. You got to speak highly of yourself. You got to speak highly of situations. You don't want to participate in gossip. You ever notice when you participate in gossip, you feel messy, like you got to go take a shower? Like, damn, I'm spreading this shit. You know, it don't make you feel good. What makes you feel good is when you drop game on somebody or give somebody a resource, or you can help them out because they called on you. That's what make you feel good. Giving gifts, that makes you feel good. I try to be subjective with my advice now. I try not to give advice to people who aren't asking for it. As hard as it is for me, I try to do that now because I'm changing my behavior. Therefore, my actions will change. I'm not impeding on anybody thinking I got all the... No. You guys want to show up the Monday? Let's chop it up. I'll give you what I have. Period. But I'm not forcing my advice on anybody. Right? So you got to change behaviors if you want to change your actions and see what happens from that point. But it all starts with beliefs, right? It all starts with what we believe. Do you believe it? Do you believe a black man become a millionaire in your town? Do you believe a Latino man can become a millionaire in your town? Do you believe it? Do you believe that you can have cattle and goats and all type of shit on 2 or 3 acres? Do you believe it? Do you believe that you can have a fleet of 10 trucks? Can you see it? Can you see what it would look like? Can you see where you would park? Can you see any of that stuff? Because once you can see it, then you can start talking it. And once you start talking it, the universe starts to cooperate. I promise you that. It starts to cooperate and starts to deliver in packages with bows. These are facts. But it all starts with your belief system, right? What do you believe? You notice how strong it can be, right? Because we could think ourselves into existence. We could think ourselves into seeing red cars. We could think ourselves into seeing certain people at the grocery store. I bet I'm going to see such and such. And they'll be there. And you start to be like, man, that's just coincidental, man. Enough coincidences. You start to see how much power you in the universe can possess, right? And then you start to ask for more. One of the coldest part about it is that we start to ask for more too late in life. Once we start to figure out the recipe, now we like, oh shit, I got it. I got it now. I know what to do. I know what to ask for now. You feel what I'm saying? Oh, I want to get to the other parts. Oh yeah, I feel like I'm over the hill. I'll never get a break. Let's see what else they got. If only I was smaller. If only I had more time. If only I had more money. Man, you're never going to have enough money. You're never going to have enough time. There's never going to be the right time. You got to take the leap now. I don't care what you starting. When's the best time to start it? Now. You starting a Christmas cookie business? Start the shit in the summer. Period. Now, not then. Now. And when that's being said, that doesn't mean you have to start on a scale of a Marie, whatever the cookie lady is. You start off baking batches of a dozen. You sell 1 dozen. That's what you start. You start with what you have, where you are. That's it. You don't have to put extras on it. You don't have to compete with the big dogs. That's not what you're trying to do at this point. The main thing you're trying to do is get started. That's the key to life, is start now. Whether you finish or not, you'll learn things throughout your journey, right? This is not a sprint. We talked about that last week. This is a marathon. But you have to start now. Your gun dude's already clacked. It's time for you to go, right? It's time for you to move. It's time for you to make that leap, take that step. It's imperative that you do it as soon as you get the message, because everything from that point is going to try to talk you out of it. Once you get the message and you get the confirmation and the feeling's good, it's the right fit, right messenger. It doesn't have to be me all the time, but the right messenger that deliver the right message at the right time, that's a connection. That's a divine experience. That's when God's intervening. And if you don't believe in God, I mean, if you're a gangster, you've seen death. I've seen it. Cass was supposed to squeeze on me and didn't. So you know it's divine intervention, right? So you know these things happen, and you know you're blessed by God. You know you can connect with God. So if you don't believe that, stick around with life and see how that works. God will show you he's real at some point in the game. Trust me on that one. But the key is, the connection is believing that he can do whatever it is you ask for in your life. He can do it. You got to ask for more, and you got to be willing to give more, right? You got to be willing to give more of your mind. God, I know you get ready to make that happen. I'm not even worried about it. Because a lot of times what happens is when you focus on what the enemy's doing with his confusing ass shit, you miss the gift that God's given you at that time, right? Because you're still caught up in the mist and the smoke of whatever that cat is doing, right? Because he's a sneaky fucker. You know what I'm saying? And he catches you right when you're at the peak, about to get your blessing. He come and mollywops that ass, right? And I told you guys about that. You got to be careful. You got to have your foundation solid. If you don't have that foundation solid, you will be easily uprooted by the smallest little wind that he provides. That's why it's so important to have your foundation solid and planted. I know where my books are. I know where my resources are. And trust me, you got to constantly keep reading. I drifted off for a minute. I started watching Netflix shit. Like, I ain't even reading books now. AD caught me off guard. Hey, homie, we need a book. I'm like, well, damn. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy to drift. I'm not saying I'm immune to it, but I'm saying that I need to check myself, and then I got soldiers around me to check me too. Hey, homie, we need a book. That means I got to go read one in order to give you one. So that's checking me and keeping me on top of my game. You know what I'm saying? So that's critical for me to get reminded too, and reminded that, and humble myself enough to know that I can fall off and drift. And a lot of times by me using that example lets you know, okay, that's human. We all human. But how do you get back, homie? How do you get back in line? Very easily. You check yourself. You go get the materials that you need. You ask God for help, and he will send it. I promise you, just you ain't got to get on you. Sit down, be quiet, and ask God for help. Pray. Get you not just when you about to get 15. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, I hope they don't give me a 15. Well, you know they give me 15. You know what I mean? But when you at a point to where you don't need God like that, homie, you need God like that. When you thinking you don't, when you at the top of your game, God, give me guidance. Get me to the next level. Give me my next steps. Show me my next steps. Is this the right way I should go? Can I get this, please? Can I get this, please? And if he doesn't give it to you right then and there, he'll give you something better at the time you're supposed to have it. You feel what I'm saying? When you're mentally ready to handle these types of things. That's the key to life. That's the key to connecting with God. Starts with that belief system though, homie. And if you don't have a tight belief system, you got to check it. Let me show you guys how to get that belief system. Some of the things that he was saying in here. Let me get to it. It's really good. It's a really good book. It talks about feeling, attitude, and beliefs. So this is something important right here. Programming creates beliefs, so you're programming. And he talks a lot about that, right? Programming is what you encounter on a day-to-day basis, the conversations that you have with yourself on a day-to-day basis, what you watch on a day-to-day basis, what you listen to on a day-to-day basis. It's hard for me to listen to hip hop now because they're just talking about killing and jewelry and stuff, and I'm not into that, so it loses me, right? So now I'm listening to the power of the subconscious mind, even when I'm lifting weights, because I know how my subconscious mind works. So I'm gonna even plant these seeds, even if I'm low key not paying attention. But programming creates beliefs, beliefs creates attitudes, attitudes create feelings, feelings determine actions, and actions create results. You feel me? I'll repeat that. Programming creates beliefs. So your beliefs come from the programming you've encountered. So if you've been around a bunch of negative asses, then your belief systems probably need some work. But if you've been around some cats who've got it out the mud and they've shown you they still tapping in with you, you mean to tune into their programming. Beliefs create attitudes, attitudes create feelings, feelings determines actions, and actions create results. So if you don't feel like doing something, you ain't gonna do it. But when you have the attitude that, man, I know if I make this move, man, I'm gonna feel better. You make that feeling and you go make that action. There it is there. Let me show you guys some more. Hold on, I'm trying to get to the list of the self. So this is self-talk number one, the negative acceptance. This is something that's important. The I can't. And I just had this conversation with my son about that. I can't do this, man. I can't do that. No. We don't say can't in my house. We don't. And I make sure that he understands that's a negative acceptance. That's accepting the fact that there's a belief there, right? I'm not good at this. So I'm just accepting the fact I'm not an artist. Like I can't get good at drawing art. Why can't I? If I dedicate myself to learning angles and strokes and all, why can't I be good? Right? So don't say that about yourself. Don't say you can't do something, you're not good at something if you haven't given it the time or effort to see if you really are. And then there's another one, the level of recognition, a need to change. I should. These are things that aren't good for you either. I should, because it shows you that you're not doing something, right? Showing you that you're not finishing something. I should be doing this, but I need to do this, but this bullshit, right? Getting that butt out of there. Get the butt out of there. So there's a 4 that I no longer. So it talked about smoking in here, where it said I never, or I no longer. I don't drink anymore. And I say it all the time. And I may sip wine, but I don't drink anymore, because those who know me knows I used to, every time I be in there cooking work, I got a fifth of Hennessy. You know what I'm saying? To the neck. So I don't drink anymore, meaning I don't drink like that anymore. I may sip wine, have a glass. That's about it. I engage in cannabis. That's it. And I say that, right? But I make sure I'm having that conversation. It is this universal affirmation. Let me see. I'm trying to get to those words so you guys can see some of the things that he says. Say to yourself when you motivate yourself. This book was gas, man. I figured I'd go. Let's see. And it talks about setting up things for simplicity. Where is it? I might have passed it. Monitor, listen, and repetition. I think I passed it. Oh, there you go. So these are some of the habits. And this is one of the ones I had to check myself, saying no when you wanted to say no, never being on time, not listening. These are some of the negative habits, and I'll get out of this book. These are some of the negative habits. If you guys are interested, I'll put the link up there as well. But I'm trying to show you guys how important the belief system it is, and how important the conversations that we have with ourselves about our habits, about who we are. You got to be proud of yourself, and you got to say, hey, I'm a great businessman. I'm learning. I may not be where I am or want to be, but I'll be there within a few years. And you got to really believe that. Have that confidence in your voice. Have that confidence in your stroll, your strut, so that people recognize and they feed off your energy as well. You got to stay away from the naysayers, right? You don't need to change them. That's not going to happen, right? So don't try to change them. It's a lot of heavy lifting. You feel what I'm saying? So we're not in the business trying to change people. Suggestions if you're interested, but other than that, focus on yourself. And I think the best example that we can give is how we've changed as individuals, right? How we've shaped our conversations, how we've changed, how we've engaged in different books, how we've done XYZ. And that's what I consider my influence, right? I don't have to tell you anything. I'll just put a book post up there. If you're interested, you're going to ask me for more, and you're interested in more than that, you're going to go buy the book yourself so that you can see how it can affect you. And that's the thing about taking action. Once you see a book suggestion that I put up there, take action, homie. You ain't got to buy it. Go get it. Go rent it. Go to the bookstore. But it was given to you for a reason. And that's the key. I don't care if you think highly of me or not. That's too often we get caught up in the messenger. We get caught up way in the messenger, right? Oh man, you can learn shit from fools, man. At least how not to be a fool, right? My dad used to tell me that all the time. But yeah, it doesn't matter, the messenger. What you want to look at is, what is God trying to tell me? Because he delivers it in any vessel he can, as long as it gets you to the right time. And that's the key right there. Everything is timing, right? And this getting delivered me at the time that I need it. Is this getting delivered me at the time I got an extra $10 that I can go buy this book? Because that's the thing. We're so hesitant on books because guess what we say? I'm not a reader. I don't read books. I never read books, homie. I like listening. These are negative reinforcements you're saying with yourself. You don't know if you're a good reader or not. In the pen, we turn into readers. We in the pen ain't no, well, they probably get MP3s now, but it was books, homie. So we are readers. Oh, I'm not good at school, man. School you ain't found nothing that interests you, man. And your teachers were trash. Your school was trash, right? So those are the things. Don't say these things about yourself. Don't commit those things to say, man, I'm not good at this. I've never been athletic. You can be. You just ain't found a sport that you was interested in yet, right? Don't say these things about yourself and kill yourself before you can get started. Don't already agree to something before or agree to the denial before you've even tried. Because you can commit to denial. Man, they go deny me anyway. I ain't even going to try. Why wouldn't you try? If you already know, then why not? You might get a yes. It's a 50-50 gamble. Why not try? Why not put your best foot forward? Why not put the application in? Why not fill it out, dog? Why not try to get the interview? You don't know what they're going to say. You're making the assumption. And the thing that the Four Agreement says, do not make assumptions. Always speak the impeccable word, meaning always speak highly of yourself and the situation. Don't make assumptions. Don't assume that they're going to deny you. Right? Why would you assume that they're going to deny you? Oh, man, my luck sucks. Man, you self-fulfilling prophecy, homie. That's all that is. Universe is just agreeing with you, man. Whatever you want, homie, I got you. Oh, you suck? Cool. We'll continue to suck. You about it? Man, let's get going. I'll throw you a couple bones. I'm going to throw you a couple miracles that are going to blow your wig back. As long as we're in the believing thing. So whatever you want to believe, whether it's true or false, is right. If you suck, you're right. If you think you're the business, you're right. It's all up to you, right? When you're looking for solutions and answers, go internal. What do you believe about yourself? And if you know you don't agree with what you believe about yourself, you know there's a conflict, you need to reprogram yourself. You need to reset that ass. There's a button in the back of your head, the reset button, homie. You feel what I'm saying? I feel you, Anthony. Yes, sir. You better believe it. You better believe it 100%, because nobody's going to feel better about you than you are. Nobody's going to love you more than you do. Trust me. Nobody's going to think more highly of you than you are. You got to not arrogance. It's not hubris. It's knowing who you are. It's knowing that you're a miracle. You wouldn't even be here if you weren't supposed to be. If you didn't have an objective and a mission to accomplish. You wouldn't be here, homie. It'd be a done deal. But you got some work to do. And if you feel like you and life aren't vibing right now, it's because you're not in your zone yet. So you haven't figured it out. Once you figure it out, you get in your zone, you start to have better conversations with yourself. You see the world starts to change. You start to put on these lenses, right? And they light and fluffy and colorful and everything is beautiful, right? Because it starts with the inside. Starts with the inside. You got miserable cats. You can get them the world, man. Rodeo, Beverly Hills, Santa Monica Beach, and they'll still be walking around shit face and frown face because their guts is messed up. Because they programmed and said that you deserve the south of France, not just Santa Monica. You deserve the Monte Carlo. You deserve the French Riviera, right? And that's where we get into this comparison shit, as opposed to appreciating what God's given us. Keep telling my son, I'm like, hey man, you gotta appreciate everything. I said, when we worked in our apartment, homie, you know what I'm saying? We scrubbed everything. They said I'm the king, and everyone followed. Yeah, for real. But we scrubbed that apartment. We treated it like it was the best thing since sliced bread. It was the tiniest little apartment, and he gave us more. So you got to treat what you have like it's golden. I don't care what it is, because it's a gift from God. And a lot of times these are tests to see if I'm going to give you your bigger gift. You feel what I'm saying? We do this with the kids as well, right? We don't get them the pistol. We start with a little BB gun, take them out shooting, and let them learn how to work shit. And then once they get old enough, then we teach them how to use the cannon. You feel what I'm saying? But we got to do it gradually, and God does us the same way. But you got to ask for it, right? You got to show God you interested, homie. He doesn't know what you interested in unless you tell him and ask him. You can't sit up there, and it's not based on what somebody else has. It's based on what's inside of you. And as hard as it is, peer pressure wise and paying attention to the left and to the right, you got to not give a shit what anybody else thinks. You can't care what they think. You got to understand, once you get that connection from God, ride that wave. Riding the wave of the opinion of the human, man, woman, auntie, uncle, whatever the hell, homie. Psh, come on, homie. Those are humans. They make big mistakes. Their programming is their programming. I ran into people that I ain't seen in a long time. You know what I'm saying? And I love them, and I love seeing them. And the thing about it is, you got to realize that people may not have been exposed to the things you've been exposed to. So you can't make assumptions about people. You know what I'm saying? So that's the main thing. It's like a lot of times you step backwards. Let's see. Keep pushing technique podcast from the fella. All right, homeboy. I see. I can't share these comments. I don't know why, man. They only let me share these ones up here. But I will share these comments. And I appreciate you tapping in, bro. I really do, man. You have no idea how much I appreciate that, man. Because you guys don't have to spend no time with me, homie. And you do, man, every Monday. You know what I'm saying? And those who listen to the podcast, those who are tapping in on YouTube, I salute and appreciate you guys, man. You could be doing much better things with your time, but I appreciate you spending it with me. Sounding like Jay-Z right there. You feel what I'm saying? Yes, you got to ask. As a man thinketh. All these things are proven. You feel what I'm saying? All these, as a man thinketh, so shall he be. So what are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? Are you thinking about the news? You thinking about a COVID shot? Are you thinking about Vogues and Dayton's? I'm thinking about space and branding. What do we actually want to be? I want to have a chicken spot at the LAX. I already said that. I want my chicken spot, our family recipe, LAX. Period. You know what I'm saying? I want airport pimping. That's where I'm at with it. And I'm asking God for that, man. Slide me in the airport, dog. I want SeaTac. I want LAX. I want Phoenix. I want Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth. And I want Atlanta. Talk to me. And I'll talk back. You feel what I'm saying? But I ain't asking for nothing small. I'm saying I want airport, dog. I want international money. I want, when you guys hop on that Southwest, go grab 3 chicken wings and have the whole thing smelling. That's when I'm on, dog. And this is how descriptive you got to be with it, homie. And it can't scare you. Can't scare you. You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes it might make you a little nervous, but you got to say, man, shit, get rich or die trying. Say that over and over again. Get rich or die trying, dog. We all gonna die anyway. I might as well try to get rich at the same time. You feel what I'm saying? Not on depressive stuff, but on some why not me shit. You feel what I'm saying? Why not us shit? Why not you? You feel what I'm saying? Why not? Why not? And that's what we got to believe. Why not us, dog? Why not our kids, homie? Why not our family? Why not? What's our belief telling us? Excuse me. Is it telling us why not us in a feeling sorry standpoint? Why not me? Why couldn't I be like that? Nah. Same words. Why not me? I'm on my way to being like that. And you got to keep saying it. You got to say it so much that you confuse the shit out of yourself. Damn, I really believe my shit. Yes, you should. Yes, you should. And then you don't care what anybody's saying, right? And it's like dancing to the beat of your own drum, dog. You walking around a calypso, it's just smacking in your ear. You cha-chaing, everybody looking at you crazy. I mean, what the hell you, homie? I'm in my groove. I know you can't hear the music. I understand you can't move to my music, but right now I got the calypso popping, homie, and I'm cha-chaing. You feel me? So, and that's in a business sense. You got to dance because other people's music and noise is distracting. I got to dance to your rhythm, homie. Your beat's all off because that's his beat. I got to dance to your shit. The vocals too loud because that's her shit. You only gonna be able to swing to your music, homie. I don't care what anybody says. You gonna be only be dance. It's gonna be theater, art, and all that when you and your music. When you find your song, you feel what I'm saying? When you find your song to dance to, it's gonna be you and your music, homie. Put your headphones on and fuck what everybody else talking about. Period. Because they ain't gonna write your song. They're not gonna sing your last song. They're not gonna help. That it's none of that. You'll get your assistance. Don't get me wrong. You're gonna get people to tap in with you, but it's got to be to your music, and you got to be able to always dance to your music. And sometimes you're gonna have to turn it down to hear maybe what other people saying, but at the same time, turn that shit up when they talking about something you ain't trying to hear. Turn that shit up when their music is starting to overcloud yours. You starting to question what you're up to. Damn, do I still like my calypso? Nah. Just because they reggae got loud doesn't mean your calypso ain't popping. Just because they hip hop got loud doesn't mean your calypso ain't popping. You got to dance to your own music, homie. You got to believe in yourself like nobody else believed in you. You got to say, I don't care what was programmed into my head. I'm not concerned with that, homie. I'm concerned with my success, how I'm going to leave this life, what my legacy is going to be. But it starts with my belief system. It starts with my programming. If I'm programmed the right way, if I understand, just like we programmed in the pen, I programmed the right way. I ran, 4 or 5 miles every day. Took up half my time and balled with them cats on the weekend. And I got magazine subscriptions. And I figure I'm going to get 36 of these magazines or however long I'm here. So that's, I'm going to get whoop, 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 and I start programming myself. I'll get a call once a month or once a week, whatever. And you got to do the same thing when you out here. You got to program yourself to understand when you're going to hit these dips and valleys, how to talk to yourself. You good, champ? You got it on me. Don't trip, man. When you was down, dude, that's why. Nah, man. Remember you snap back. And that's why it's so important. I told you guys this a couple of weeks ago. Document your progress, homies. Document your progress. Write that shit down. You don't need to lean on it. Just like I lean on. I keep these close. They remind me that if I got through this stuff, you feel me? If I made it through this and I was talking that shit in here, this is 02 when I was still in the pen. You can see that on prison paper. I keep them close, right? So that it shows me, hey, homie, you believe this stuff, you write it down before it even happens and the shit happens, yo. You know what time it is. You got the recipe, homie. Why don't you start cooking? Period. It starts right here, right here. I told you guys, homie, mind control, belief systems, part of a whole pimping industry, right? Getting somebody's mind. And I don't mean any disrespect with that. But at the same time, that's what that is. That's mind control. And you got to be able to control your mind so that you control your thoughts, that you can control your attitude and control your behavior, which controls your results. And ultimately, we're going to be successful. I'm speaking into existence for all of us right now. Homies, homegirls, period. And I want you to repeat it to yourself. And when you get up in the morning, man, thank God. But also pat yourself on the back, homie. You look good. Let's go out here and get it, homie. You feel good. You made it. You one of the few that made it, man. You got a destiny. You working on your legacy. Let's go get it. And you got to pump yourself up, homie. I don't care what you got to do. If you have a conversation with yourself out loud, what's up, D? You good, homie? Yeah, I'm good, man. You looking good, pimp. You ready to go get out here and tackle this shit? Yeah, dog. All right, homie, what you waiting on? Go grab your backpack and have these full throttle conversations with yourself, pumping yourself up. People going to think you nuts, going to think you off your rocker. Again, your calypso, your music, your dance. You don't care what they think. That's not that. They ain't living your life, homie. So do it, speak it, talk it. That will conclude our weekly tap in for this week, fellas. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this week's. Make sure you guys check that book out. I'll share it again so you guys can take a look. Grab this. This is my weekly book suggestion. It is fire. Oh, let me show you guys. Yeah. When you break it down like that, AD, homie. Yes. Yes. Hey, homie. Hey, facts. That's all I can say on that one, homie. Facts. I wish I could share y'all's thing. For some reason, it won't let me share y'all's comments right now. But he has self-talk programs to my truck drivers. And basically what he talks about too in here is recording these conversations with yourself. It talks about recording them. So you can record self-talk. Hey, homie, I know you down. I know you feeling some type of way. When you feeling good, maybe make a little mental note to yourself and listen to them when you down. That was a technique that it gave in that book. So you cop the book, man. That's what I'll say. This book is small. It's, I think maybe 10, 15 buck investment, may even be cheaper than that. But I promise you it will change your life. I promise you that. So take a look, tap in. Make sure you guys hit the subscription button. If you're on YouTube, I appreciate you subscribing. Those who listen to the podcast, please continue to listen. We're trying to get our numbers up. We'll be dropping an episode. I'm just trying to run those episodes and make sure that they get their due diligence. And I appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate that. Tapping out. Always. All right, AD, family. Appreciate everybody else tapping in. Make sure you guys put your city, share this video so that people can tap in with us. Peace.